Picture this. It's 2020. The pandemic hits, e-commerce spending explodes, and Amazon's apparel sales shoot up. But this wasn't a one-time spike. The clothing segment kept growing. By that point, Amazon was already the top apparel retailer in the US, a spot Walmart held until around 2018. And here's the twist. For sellers, Amazon can be brutal. Returns are high, fees stack up fast. But Amazon's reach is so massive that big brands and small businesses still can't ignore it. Once you get hooked on that volume, it's hard to wean off it. So the real question is simple. How did Amazon scale apparel so fast? And why does it feel like a fashion destination now? Now let's zoom out for a second. Amazon is one of the biggest companies on the planet. If you put in $1,000 about 20 years ago, you'd be looking at something close to $100,000 today. That's the kind of scale we're talking about. And Amazon learned how to take that scale and apply it to new categories. Everybody knows they started with books, then it was toys, electronics, and eventually apparel. Around 2012, Amazon Fashion ran one of its first big campaigns and started courting major brands. It also got serious about personalization, using customer data to shape search and recommendations, and even hiring stylists and models to make the experience feel more fashion and less warehouse. By 2014, apparel and footwear were estimated to be a multi-billion-dollar business for Amazon. Then came a huge push into private label, dozens of in-house brands, tens of thousands of products, over 100 private labels at one point. But here's what's interesting. Private label sounds like easy money, but fashion is messy. Styles change, seasons change, trends move. Amazon would rather sell the same one item 1,000,000 times than 1,000,000 unique items once. That's why the basics did better. Think essentials, repeat purchases, less experimentation. Now let's talk about brands. For years, major players expanded on Amazon by launching storefronts. And that's still happening. Even recently, you have seen more brands building official storefronts to control how they show up. And then there's Nike. Nike famously left the platform in 2019 because of brand control and a push toward direct-to-consumer. But Nike came back. Why? Because even if you leave, you still can't stop other sellers from listing your products. If you're not present, unauthorized sellers fill the gap. Now let's talk about the luxury angle. Amazon launched a luxury storefront back in 2020. And more recently, it's leaned harder into high-end partnerships, trying to bring premium brands onto the platform and make fashion feel more curated. Amazon's public message stays consistent. They position themselves as a partner to everyone, from small businesses to global names. And they keep investing in tools, services, and delivery innovations to help brands grow. Now let's break down how selling actually works, because this is where the business model matters. There are two main ways brands sell on Amazon. The first is where Amazon buys inventory in bulk and controls pricing and listing. That option is now mostly invite only. The second, and the most common, is third-party selling. You pay Amazon a referral fee. In apparel, it can range roughly from 5% to 17%, depending on the item. But that's only the start. When you stack everything, sellers often talk about all-in costs getting extremely high, especially once you add advertising, logistics, and the services needed to compete. And this is where fulfillment by Amazon comes in. It's optional, but it's also a big advantage. Amazon can handle storage, shipping, customer service, and returns. For a small business, that's like getting a rocket ship without having to build the engine yourself. But you pay for it. Subscription fees, storage fees, return processing fees, extra service fees. It adds up. And this is where Zena comes in. Because most brands don't fail on Amazon due to product quality. They fail because fees, returns, and ad spend slowly eat their margins. At Zena, we help brands tighten the basics: listings that convert, ads that don't leak spend, and a system that keeps performance stable while the marketplace keeps changing. Now, there's another controversial piece here: data. Amazon has been accused of using marketplace data to inspire lookalike products under its own brands. There are examples where sellers claim Amazon created close replicas. Amazon says it doesn't use non-public seller data that way, and that it has policies to protect seller data. Then there's pricing. Another major allegation is that sellers get punished if their products are cheaper off Amazon. One way pricing is tracked is through UPC codes, which make it easier to compare prices across retailers. Sellers say they can get alerts demanding a price fix, and if they don't comply, they risk visibility or even the buy box. And the buy box is everything. It drives the vast majority of purchases on Amazon. If you lose it, you can feel like you disappeared overnight. Now here's the consumer side. Shoppers are tired. They don't want to price check 10 sites. They want it easy, and Amazon is built for easy. Lowest price, fast delivery, simple checkout. Now let's talk about the biggest pain point in apparel: returns. Apparel return rates are high because fit is uncertain. People order multiple sizes, try at home, and send most of it back. That reverse logistics journey is expensive for Amazon and for the seller. In many cases, sellers say those returns don't even re-enter sellable inventory. Some get liquidated, some get destroyed, some end up in landfills. Amazon even tried a program called Try Before You Buy, which helped reduce fees on returned items. But that program ended in early 2025, which tells you how hard the returns problem really is. And this leads to the bigger takeaway. Amazon experiments constantly. Some experiments fail, but the learning stays. Even when a feature doesn't work, Amazon finds what does, like advertising, like short-form content, like using social platforms to create demand, and then capturing it through Amazon. So what's the takeaway? We are past the debate of should you be on Amazon. The real question now is, how are you going to work with Amazon without letting it crush your margins? Because for apparel, Amazon isn't just a marketplace anymore. It's the net that catches demand. And if you want to grow there, you need a strategy that respects how Amazon actually works. Until next time, stay sharp, stay adaptable, and happy selling.